Hey guys, it's Ann Vandersteel. You know me from the work I've done with Operation Burning Edge down at the border, where we took a good look at human trafficking, specifically child trafficking, thanks to the United Nations money funding NGOs like Catholic Charities and the Customs and Border Protection, our own government, in fact, very involved in moving these children throughout the country. No bueno. Now at American Made Foundation and American Made Action, we are going after the Child Protective Services and all of its parasitic organizations in all 50 states and the NGOs affiliated and the courts and the law enforcement that are separating children from families with no due process. And in most of the cases, we're finding that these children shouldn't be separated because they really don't meet the legal threshold. Child trafficking is child trafficking. Even Mike Pompeo called it out when he was Secretary of State in his 2019 Human Trafficking in Persons report. So the question we really need to ask ourselves is, where's Jonah Rief?
We are living in crazy days indeed. It seems like the world is full of more questions than answers. But the answer to one question would answer so many more. And that is, where is Jonah Rief?
With child trafficking going on both sides of the pond, and satanic ritual abuse that people won't face, we have to ask ourselves one important question. Where is Jonah Rief?
My name is Billy Powers, co-founder of tollandroll.com, the convoy that's hand-delivered from OC to DC, to Doge, and to 3 presidential administrations, House to Senate, evidence of human trafficking, child trafficking, deed theft, property theft, guardianship abuses, even government-sponsored. We're going back to DC. We're not going to stop. We delivered the evidence, and now we ask, where is Jonah Rief?
I've written 2 books. I've done 2 documentaries, one focusing in on the trafficking of children across America, across our borders. Our government lost over 550,000 of these children, can't find them. They're sex trafficked, labor trafficked. We have 400 to 800,000 children every single year go missing in the United States of America, and nothing, absolutely nothing has been done. This administration, the administration I voted for, the administration I still believe in, has only arrested or only located 13,000 children, arrested 442 child predator traffickers. That's not enough. So I have to ask the question out loud. Where is Jonah Rief? Where is he?
Long ago, the Lord put a fire in my heart and began giving me deep relationships with many in the anti-sex trafficking movement. He also gave me the honor to support spiritually many satanic ritually abused survivors. So along with my sister and fellow warrior, Tammy Rief, I have one question to ask because we're not going to stop. Where is Jonah Rief?
We founded Operation War Without Cancer as a global voice to overcome the lies of the medical industrial complex. The powers responsible for the suppression of truth about health and healing are one and the same to the perpetrators who traffic and abuse children. That leads us all to a very important question that must be answered. Where is Jonah Rief?
Do you think the U.S. government traffics children?
Yes.
Why is that?
You see that Health and Human Services admitted to it. You look at Office of Refugee Resettlement and missing children, and then you look all in our community where trafficking is allowed to thrive.
So do you have a question for anybody in particular?
I have a question for every government official. Where is Jonah Rief?
In a world gone mad, an educational system that teaches so many lies, and colleges, even Yale University, where my daughter was studying to be a doctor, have shown us that the people at the top are dark Satanists that hate human beings, that consume human flesh. And all that leads us to one simple question. Where is Jonah?
What's up, everybody? This is Adam Riva with Dauntless Dialogue. I started my company as a means to fight and expose evildoers everywhere, no matter where they're hiding. Primarily, the most heinous of evils perpetrated against innocent and defenseless children vis-a-vis the child trafficking industry. This is a silent epidemic that thrives in every neighborhood, in every state, in every country in the world. And it's our duty to speak up on behalf of the voiceless. So with that being said, I have one question. Where is Jonah Rief?
Last Evangelist is a TV series I've been producing. It stands for truth. But the truth is, everyone is someone's last evangelist. So that means that you're someone's last evangelist. So if that is true, let me ask you this question. Where is Jonah Rief?
Good afternoon, President Trump. I'm Tammy Rief. I am the mother of Jonah Rief, and I have something that's very, very, very precious to my heart, and it's those 325,000 children that went missing by HHSA. Jonah's one of those children. Actually, we really know it's in the millions. I know it's in the millions, and I'm asking you to say these words. Where is Jonah Rief? Amen.